When people hear the name Air Force One, most imagine a massive blue and white jet gliding across the sky, carrying the President of the United States and symbolizing American power wherever it lands. But what many don't realize is that Air Force One isn't actually the name of a single aircraft. It's a radio call sign used whenever the sitting president is aboard any aircraft operated by the United States Air Force. Still, over time, the phrase has come to represent far more than aviation. It stands for diplomacy, security, leadership, and even crisis management at 10,000 meters above the ground. The story of Air Force One is not just about technology. It's about how presidents learn to rule from the sky. So let's get into it, right here, on History of Simple Things. Before World War II, flying was considered risky, uncomfortable, and unreliable. Most U.S. presidents preferred trains and ships. However, global conflict changed that. During the 1940s, speed and security became essential, especially for international meetings. This led to the first major presidential flights under Franklin D. Roosevelt, who became the first sitting president to regularly travel by airplane. His aircraft, nicknamed the Sacred Cow, was modified with special seating and communications equipment, allowing him to govern while in transit. After Roosevelt's death, air travel became even more important. His successor, Dwight D. Eisenhower, had extensive military aviation experience from World War II and strongly believed in using aircraft for leadership and diplomacy. During his presidency, the U.S. government began standardizing presidential flights, improving security, and developing better on-board communication systems. It was during this period that presidential aviation shifted from being a convenience into an official extension of the White House. The famous call sign Air Force One was created in 1953 after a serious near-miss incident. A presidential plane and a commercial flight accidentally shared the same flight number, causing confusion in air traffic control. To prevent such a dangerous mistake from happening again, officials introduced a unique identifier, Air Force One, whenever the president was on board. This new system transformed how presidential flights were handled. Air traffic controllers gave the aircraft top priority, and military escorts became more common. The call sign itself quickly gained prestige, turning the president's plane into a recognizable symbol around the world. Wherever Air Force One landed, it signaled the arrival of American leadership and influence. The modern image of Air Force One took shape during the presidency of John F. Kennedy. In the early 1960s, Kennedy commissioned a new design that replaced the previous orange and silver military look with the now iconic light blue and white color scheme. The elegant typography, patriotic colors, and polished appearance were carefully chosen to project calm authority and sophistication. This design wasn't just cosmetic. It reflected how air travel had become central to global politics. Kennedy and later Lyndon B. Johnson used Air Force One to travel frequently between continents, meeting foreign leaders and responding rapidly to international crises. One of the most historic moments aboard the aircraft occurred in 1963, when Johnson was sworn in as president on Air Force One following Kennedy's assassination. From that moment on, the plane became a symbol of continuity and stability in times of national tragedy. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, Air Force One entered a new technological age with the introduction of two highly modified Boeing 747 aircraft. Built by Boeing, these planes, known as VC-25A models, remain in service today. These aircraft are essentially flying command centers. Inside, they contain private offices, conference rooms, medical facilities, secure bedrooms, and dining areas. Advanced communication systems allow the president to contact military commanders, foreign leaders, and emergency agencies anywhere in the world. The planes are shielded against electromagnetic pulses, have missile defense systems, and can be refueled in midair, allowing them to stay airborne for extended periods during emergencies. In many ways, these jets function as a mobile White House. Whether dealing with wars, natural disasters, or diplomatic negotiations, presidents can continue governing without interruption. Over the decades, Air Force One has played a crucial role during major national emergencies. One of the most notable examples occurred on September 11, 2001, when President George W. Bush was aboard the aircraft following the terrorist attacks. For hours, Air Force One remained in the air under heavy security, serving as a temporary command center while officials assessed threats. This event highlighted the aircraft's role as a backup government headquarters. In extreme scenarios, Air Force One ensures that leadership remains protected and operational. It represents not only transportation, but survival, continuity, and resilience in the face of crisis. While the current Air Force One aircraft continue to operate reliably, plans are already underway for their replacement. The U.S. Air Force is working with Boeing to deliver two new VC-25B aircraft based on the 747-8 platform. These next-generation planes were originally expected in the mid-2020s, but technical and security upgrades have caused delays, pushing their entry into service to around 2028 or later. Officials say the extra time is necessary to ensure the aircraft meet modern standards for cybersecurity, communication, and defense. To bridge the gap, the Air Force is preparing an interim bridge aircraft to support presidential travel until the new fleet is ready. At the same time, additional support planes are being acquired for training and maintenance. Together, these efforts show that Air Force One is entering a new chapter, focused on long-term reliability, digital security, and readiness for future global challenges. From a modest propeller plane in the 1940s to today's flying fortress, the history of Air Force One mirrors the growth of American power and global responsibility. It has witnessed wars, peace treaties, assassinations, and historic agreements, all from thousands of meters above the Earth. More than just an aircraft, Air Force One represents continuity, leadership, and national identity. Wherever it flies, it carries not only a president, but the weight of an entire nation's hopes, decisions, and future. And as long as presidents take to the skies, Air Force One will remain one of the most powerful symbols in modern history. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.